What's going on? What's going on, boys and girls, traders of all shapes and sizes? Happy Friday. It's an interesting one, man. I'm not a tech. I don't work in tech. I don't. I don't know what's going on. I really didn't watch the news with the whole cloud strike thing, but it seems like there's a bunch of issues going on with everything tech related. Um, I'm like 10 minutes late because the stream wouldn't connect. So if it dies off, um, maybe it has something to do with it. Maybe it's not. That's the first time ever that it unexpectedly quit like 3 or 4 times when I was trying to connect. So we'll see how that plays. Outside of that, TopStep has said like 5 different things have been issues on not specifically with them, but with T4, with TopstepX Live. They wrote something that said CTS, T4, Sim and Live, and TopstepX Live. So technically this is Sim since we're in a combine or an XFA. I think that would be okay, but I don't know. I'll also say that Bookmap looks weird today. Looks very off. There's definitely something wrong. Closed it, started a couple times. So I would say trade at your own risk today. There's obviously some back-end technical stuff going on, and it's a little sketchy to hear so many different industries having issues. Some guys were talking about it in the chat. So I'm going to look to take some trades if at all possible. But so far, price action is pretty ugly. I got to get it on quick today. Let's see. David says, turn my volume up. Can you hear me, brother? Let me know if you guys could hear me okay. If anybody else besides David has an issue with volume. Sound check, boys. Let me know if you have an issue with volume. Can you hear me okay? Good, good, bad, good. Let me know. Mine's good, Kyle says. Anybody else, help me out with the sound check. I can see you in here. Type in the chat. Can you hear me okay? We'll know if it's on David's end. I haven't touched the sound. Sounds good now. Cool. Probably because I had my head turned and I was not talking into the mic anyway. So we're here on ES. Let's get some trading in. Again, I'm going to be a little more conservative. I dropped right down to micros. Not a bad move anyway. I want to get ready for XFAs that I'm going to be starting out with. I'll probably use micros just to be a little more flexible with risk. This account's unfortunately into profit and then back into drawdown, or not into profit, just into drawdown. This one's $1,000 in drawdown. It's a combine. So that's what we're trading today. No copy trading, five accounts, just in case there are problems and we get stuck in trades. So yeah, again, Bookmap, while it's sketchy, it's still showing me some useful information. Yeah, I don't know, man. We're just gonna have to cross our fingers today that trades get executed. We got some orders sitting at 88 on Bookmap. Above price, we got a whole bunch around that pre-market and opening range, 15-minute opening range high. Actually, a little bit below that, we got some sitting. And then we got 612. That's what it looks like. We got a little bit of a spike up here. Right now, we're just completely chopping, consolidating. I took one win, one loss. Nice win right here, right off pre-market high. Got short right here, rode it back down somewhere towards this level. Again, scaled like pretty lightly. And then one loss as we were slicing through VWAP and started to come back up. So net negative on my morning, not by a whole lot, to be honest. And those are my two trades. Again, once this one fails and then we just chop, I got nothing. I don't want to immediately flip long. I don't want to immediately flip short. This looked like it was going to break for sure, right? We came off pre-market high hard, slicing through everything through VWAP until we pulled this move right here to come back up. So could have cut this one a little bit earlier with that happening, but sometimes you find resistance under it. This all looks good, And, you know, you're really not going to know until you start to get the spike up. But this looked like the classic slice through VWAP to continue lower outside of 15-minute opening range and maybe down to prior day low, pre-market low, which it looks like it wants to do now. But I'm not taking anything right now. I'm not going to take anything until we get down below this low or we start breaking back up above. This is just very choppy. You know, had some action here. You could have got long as price pulled back down, kind of following this little pre-market run up. Could have got long after open as we sliced through VWAP, you know, targeting pre-market high. Probably would have been targeting something higher. This might have been a stop out at break even. This sell, I love this play. Really, really nice. It's also nice that it was, oh no, it wasn't at 945. But yeah, right off a pre-market high. That's what we had going on here. Simple. Right down to VWAP is always a nice target. Volume point of control, anything in between, you know, pre-market high and VWAP you could use as a target. VWAP is pretty slick to be used as a target. But yeah, right now, just a whole lot of consolidation. So again, guys, I'm making this one short and sweet. I wanted to do it. It's been fun on a hell of a winning streak on the YouTube lives. I think like 7 or 8 green days. Took some losses, but they've been comebacks for wins. So we've ended everyone green, which has been pretty sweet for the last going on. Yeah, this is 2 weeks. So if you stay long enough, you'll see the losses. You'll see the consecutive losses. You know, that's how it goes. So again, gonna make this one short and sweet. I'm gonna be on here for about 45 minutes. That's it. Gonna watch to see if we can get a trade in. If nothing sets up and it's a bunch of this crap for Friday, I'm happy not to be trading anyway. We got issues with maybe with brokers, with prop firms, with data providers back on the tech end of this. So what's up, brother? Let's end the week green. I like that. Andre says, let's end the week green. I would like to, my man. Tight, choppy, consolidating range right now. So we will see. We will see how we pull out of this one, or if we pull out of this one. Again, this is the micro chart for ES, just for more flexibility and to be able to size down. We had some pretty big price action yesterday. I was talking about just putting on a little bit more risk in the morning and that not playing too well. I'm probably going to want to trade micros. Again, just to be able to adjust risk, not to trade, $25 risk per trade or anything. But if I say, hey, I want to keep my risk when I move into an XFA right at $200, I can pretty much do that on micros. You can scale in, gives you the opportunity to scale out rather than trading one mini. But sometimes I need more than that 4 or 5 point stop loss in the ES. Maybe it's got to be 7, 8, and you're going to take on more risk than you want to with just one. I do like to be able to scale out, leave a runner, have more flexibility there. So micros, I will say, I noticed the chart moves differently. I know it's supposed to be the exact same thing. I noticed small discrepancies. The chart moves difference. The volume seems a little bit different. There's just subtle nuances that I could tell from staring at ES all day versus this micro ES that I don't really love, but I'm probably going to have to at least start there for my my style of dynamic risk management, being able to start small, increase as you win. If you start losing, stay small and accelerate your growth or your path back to break even, but not to blowing the account very quickly. So you could do it, throughout the day, which is the very popular way to do it. You could do it, throughout your starting the account and building a buffer. Yeah, no, something's definitely up with the data provider for Bookmap, for sure. Looks completely different today. I'm not really going to rely on that at all or look at it very much. Interesting. Let's see. Let's Google CrowdStrike. Let's see what happened. Is that what it? Crowd strike? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I don't know what it is. Yeah, CrowdStrike. Huge outage. Microsoft down. Global IT, airlines grounding flights. Software update caused the world's biggest IT blackouts. Microsoft / CrowdStrike outage. Yeah, so I think there's I think there's a huge issue going on right now that's probably affecting some of the trading world. Here's the first thing that I had to look at was the finance side of it. CrowdStrike shares fall more than 13%, bearish. That's what I said in the chat today. As soon as everybody started complaining, I said that sounds bearish. If you stay in trading for long enough, you get deep enough into the markets, especially paying attention to like the U.S. indices, if that's like your MO, or maybe even gold. You look at every event, like anything that happens is bullish or bearish. It's kind of funny. I always think that's funny when someone's talking about something like not trading related at all, and they're like, "That's bullish." CrowdStrike IT, that sounds bearish. Again, guys, looking at the chart, absolutely nothing. I have no trade here. We are dead set in the middle of the 15-minute opening range, high and low, right at VWAP. We just tapped pre-market high without breaking above. We didn't come down really and do anything, so this is nothing for me here. Again, don't know that I'm going to get a trade here in the next 40 minutes or so. If I zoom out on the 1 minute, we could do a little bit high. Let's go on the 15, do a little bit of higher time frame analysis. Obviously, we've been putting in all-time highs. This has kind of been slowing, right? Slowing all-time highs with a little bit deeper of pullbacks rather than, this type of ripping uptrend right here. Not a whole lot of consolidation. Just pushes up, little pullbacks or decent-sized pullbacks. I'll say this is a decent-sized pullback. And sell-off, right? Sell-off all the way down to, this area here. And then yesterday, into overnight, came down, tested this area, which is obviously a pretty serious area here. I think this is like weekly high, weekly kickoff high, they call that. Either way, just an area of interest on the chart. It's been tested 2 times as support. And now we're going to see, hey, are we going to break below that and continue this move down without any real serious pullbacks to the upside, this really short-term time frame downtrend? Get below these lows and continue lower prices in store. We're going to see a pullback up, maybe a continuation of the higher time frame trend, obviously, right? If we zoom way out on the U.S. indices, is this just a healthy pullback? Maybe we're going to get down to this level. Maybe we're going to come all the way down before continuing. I try to pay attention to where we are so I can have a good understanding of the cycle that we're in, utilizing that higher time frame picture, but not really take this type of a bias into my day-to-day on the 1 minute. Let's see what we got. If you guys got questions, feel free, ask them in the chat. If you're not in the free Discord, hop in the free Discord, man. Live trading every day, no VIP paywall. You could ask me questions. You get news. You get my charts. You get an explanation, everything that I'm looking at that morning. Sometimes I call out trades in one of the channels in there, but I've been live trading almost every day, so you can be on here trading with me. And if you want one-on-one help, you want to work with a trading coach, mentor, whatever the hell you want to call me, who trades full-time, I do that as well. Happy to talk about it. You can book a free 30-minute one-on-one call through Zoom. We can chat, talk about your trading, see if it makes sense, see if it's something that you're interested in. That's the only thing I charge for. Yeah, little bit like lower lows coming in, a little bit of lower highs coming in. Maybe we want to come down and test this. I'm not sold on anything yet, really at all. I want to see some movement out of this. And Bookmap, yeah, now you got like a little bit more coming back on from Bookmap that looks a little more normal. But there's definitely something wrong this morning. There's some selling. There's some selling pressure. We got 73. right here we got some orders stacked up right above prior day low, pre-market low. That could be an area for a target if we like to see if we want to take a short. But I don't really have anything on this, guys. Would need like a break and retest. You could try an aggressive buy play if we come down to this and you take it right off opening range low. You can wait for a little consolidation. You know, there's plays in between this range that's set within the first 15 minutes of trading. You know, this pretty much just a buy off this low. Maybe it cracks below and then continues back into the range. I wouldn't hold it all day. That would be like something along these lines. You know, maybe you throw like a 5-point stop loss on there, targeting something like that. Maybe even throw like a 6-pointer if you're going to target VWAP. Go for something like that. That's a pretty aggressive play if we are coming down into the zone. If you're not going to wait for any type of reaction at all, you could wait for something along these lines. Again, if I'm not in a trade, I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at for potential stuff. You can wait to see what happens down here. Maybe it just slices through. It saves you a loss. You wait for something like this, and then we continue like that. And then you say, you know what? That looks good. I'm going to jump in here. Stop loss just above that new low that was put in. And maybe you're going to close, you know, partial at VWAP, and maybe you have a little bit more conviction based on the support that you waited for to hold it back up towards pre-market high, or, you know, something like that. Potential play off of opening range low. We break out down below it. I'm not taking the breakout trade. That doesn't look really appetizing to me. Where would I place a stop loss, right? I like below VWAP, below these lows. That doesn't look really good unless you're going to hope you're just going to grab that really, really fast momentum coming down to this area. I would want to see something along, I would need to see something along these lines. You know, pull back in and then maybe like continuation down. Even then, it doesn't set up a lot of room into the next like important level that I'd be looking at, right? We got orders at 73. I would want to be, you know, getting out over here and maybe looking for a bounce buy over here. So that's not really setting up too nicely for me. But that's my style of trading. Maybe you got something different. So we're coming aggressively to this. Like, I wouldn't take a buy right here. That's some selling pressure for sure. You could see the volume on the traditional chart. I could see it on Bookmap as well. You know, sellers took that lower with some force. I'm not buying right into that. You know, here we go for a breakdown. This looks better for a breakout trade to the downside. Stop loss right above here. You know, you catch the move down to prior day low, or even to this, this 70, like 73 3/4. That's kind of what we're watching. I think we're very likely to come down here. So you got some options. You got some plays. We're calling out some plays here. Yep, I'm watching. I'll mark it for you guys. Watching like right there. We'll make it the nice Bookmap orange. That's too bright. Yeah, let's call it 74. See what happens when we get there. If we get there. Zane, do you use SMT divergence as a confluence? I don't even know what that is, to be honest. No, it sounds like that sounds like an ICT term. But between NQ and ES, if you're asking if I pay attention to the correlation between the two and then use that to see how they are moving together, but trading between each other, no, I typically don't do that. I find it hurts me more than it helps me in the past. You get days like yesterday where everything's all over the place, moving, you know, not together. You get days where they are moving really correlated, and I can't make sense of that. Kyle, how did overnight trades go? Didn't call any out, man. Didn't Didn't like it. But neither of them, I think, would have worked out very well. Okay, so we're down at 74. Hello, nice to see an ES trader. Everyone else is trading the insane NQ. Yeah. NQ is a monster, man. We talk about the different instruments a lot. I think it comes down to preference. NQ is a monster. You could trade micros and I think do okay. You could trade minis if you're taking on some pretty heavy risk. If you're not scalping. But NQ is aggressive, man. Really, really aggressive. So I like the volatility for the opportunity to scalp, to trade with a really tight stop loss, like 50, 60 ticks, which I think is pretty tight in there. But it's really, really aggressive. I like ES. I think it tracks really well since coming over and really getting trained on ES. It's been nice. So here we go. We got reaction at that zone. Orders came down and filled. They fill? Let's see. Yes. They came right into 74. Filled. You could see the volume on Bookmap. You could see where they filled, where it was hit. You can see the reaction right off of here. This is using order flow, guys. That's where this level came from. Let's look at it on Bookmap. Here's what I was looking at, right? Look at that line. What is that designating? A heavy amount of orders on the book, larger quantity than everything else around it, right at that price level. There's liquidity. We don't have to guess where liquidity is. We don't have to say, New York session sweeps liquidity after a certain time frame. That's fine. Maybe it does. That's my new favorite thing to do is piss off the advanced liquidity traders that don't use any order flow. Like, I have spoken about liquidity in the past, talked about where maybe it may be or might not or might be, but I don't think I was ever saying there's liquidity here and price is going to move in there and sweep liquidity and then this is going to happen without using an order flow tool that tells you where it is. So before I go on another rant, here's what I was looking at 74, right? I was looking at 73 and a quarter when I was really zoomed out, but it's 74. You can see price move down into that zone. A lot of times they're used as targets, areas of interest. Let's just call things areas of interest. There's liquidity. There's stacked orders on the chart. Price came down into it. You could see the volume that was traded. You could see the volume bubble, larger than everything else around it. Those orders are filled. And in this case, price happened to react up a few points, and now we're coming back down through it. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes they'll fill, and sellers will take it really aggressively below. You'll see some kind of a reaction. But these are areas that I like to pay attention to on the chart, using order flow to say, hey, maybe that's an area that price is going to go and test rather than right before it 75 or right below it 72. Maybe I should be paying attention to that for where I'm placing stops or targets or if I'm opening a new trade. Maybe I should be watching what happens at that area, what happens once we get there, get ready for, some kind of a movement. So that's pretty zoomed in on Bookmap, but this is the Predator vision. You guys see that movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's got like the heat map? So it's pretty cool. So we reacted. Now we're coming below it. We can take it off since we talked about it. Don't have anything else that's really helping me until we get way back up to that 56.01 level. Way above price, which would be like up here. There's some orders sitting. Looks like it was heavier earlier this morning. They've been coming off for like the last 10 minutes, so that's not even a super important level that I'd be paying attention to. Nothing else really that's sitting on there that's screaming at me. Not yet. That stuff changes rapidly. Excuse me. Make a little money in other markets, then give it back to NQ. Yeah, NQ, man. Everybody's best friend or worst nightmare. Again, ES has been good. It's another popular one. You see guys trade it. I think you see many more trading NQ, and then probably the least amount trading Dow out of the U.S. indices. Gold's another popular one. Crude oil is, whatever you want to trade. At its core, it's going to be the same, but each instrument obviously is very different. There's different drivers behind it, the way it's going to move, the market structure, how it will react during different times of the day. So I think becoming a specialist on whatever you decide on is a good move. Give it quite a bit of time, really develop, some experience with it, some intuition. You develop the ability to apply your discretion to your trading because you've seen so many things happen over and over and over again. You watch NYSE open every day. I'm on the charts. Unless I'm doing, vacation or I'm traveling or something, I'm on the charts every day for hours staring at this 1 minute chart. You become a specialist at it. Takes a while though. There's different market conditions. I'm still learning ES, until you're looking at it for, consistently, like day after day for, let's say, like months into years, you won't have experienced a whole lot of different market conditions in a couple weeks. So we didn't really blast below that level. It didn't hold right there at that 74 where I had that line marked, where there was some liquidity in the market using order flow. Be specific about it. My only other play here is, now that we're not coming down here with so much force, just like an aggressive buy right down where these candles wick down, pre-market low, prior day low. You could look for a buy down here. You could be taking one right over here. This level did kind of did line up with these candle bodies. That's probably where it was being based off of. I'm looking on the 5 minute. Things will look different on different time frames, of course. If I said, oh, you're going to buy at the lows, of the bodies, it's going to be different on every time frame. But we got a little bit of a reaction there. Maybe we come back up into the range. It looked like we wanted to trail lower and test these out. See what we had going on down here. So nothing yet. I don't have a really strong bias for a long or a short today at all. This looks more choppy than anything else until we get above or below and start trending lower with some force. So if you guys got questions, feel free, ask them in the chat. If you're not in Discord, I run a free Discord community. It's not a feeder program to a VIP. I'm on here almost every day trading live. I answer questions. I share news, share my charts, share analysis. Only thing I charge for is to work with me one-on-one. I don't gatekeep anything there. It's for implementation, to work with guys hands-on, to really get some coaching. That's the deal. Charge a pretty penny for that. But outside of that, man, I love building this community. I was in a lot of really good communities before this. Happy that I've got my own getting built up to a spot where I'm feeling really good about it, man. It's growing very, very fast. Only been a couple months with the Discord. Over 500 members today. We were adding, first it's a couple a week, 2-3 a week, and now it's 10 to 20 a day, which is awesome. So that's growing really well. Social media, all that stuff. It's been a fun journey putting this story out there, man. Coming up to test opening range low. If we had conviction that we were going to move lower, if we had conviction that we were going to move lower, you could look for a short somewhere up in this area. I don't know about a short below VWAP on a choppy day like today. We don't have a whole lot of room to the area that I would be targeting. But I do think there's potential to see a reaction right here or somewhere up here near VWAP. I won't take it from down here because I don't like the risk structure. Again, I don't have a set risk to reward. I actively manage my trades. My stop loss size isn't the same on every trade. But when I'm looking at the chart and I have an idea of where I would want to take profit, which would be right down here, and where I would need to have a stop loss for a spot that I would say I no longer want to be in this trade, it would be like way up here, like way, 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 way up here. So that doesn't work out very well for me. I think there's potential. This may, play from right here. You could run it with a really tight stop loss. I just don't think that's a great idea because I'd still want to be short if it comes over here. I would even be more inclined to look for an entry if we came up to this VWAP and then started to push down. So I don't want to get short and close out with a buy before I would actually like to get short up here. That's the basic thought process in trading that you have to have as you are, qualifying your trades, deciding whether or not you're going to put risk onto the market. Definitely reacting a little bit. You could get in now and say, hey, look, we waited for it to break for a couple minutes. Didn't happen. Now we're pushing off. We're back below prior bar low on the 1 minute. You could take a sell with a really tight stop loss, targeting this level. Not terrible, but I don't have it in me. Way too choppy off the bat. We came down with some force. That looked pretty good. Found support down here at this level without coming down to pre-market low, prior day low. I'm going to wait to see what happens from here. Again, no trade coming out of consolidation. Buying and selling right at the VWAP line without a clear direction for me is, I'm just playing the guessing game. That's not a good strategy. Breakout trade would have failed for me. Even if I took one down here, it didn't reach pre-market low, prior day low. That's what it would have been targeting, or that 74 level. That would have hit, but that's really not a lot of room. So far, this sell would have been okay. That's the only thing that I see. But again, just not the risk structure for me to have a stop loss right here. You could end up with a really nice risk to reward ratio on average and a really low win rate doing that. And if you're okay taking those really aggressive trades and taking, maybe like two stop outs for every win, with a nice risk to reward, you could be okay, but not really my style. What about crowd calls daily after the issues this morning? I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I know there's issues, and we were talking about that earlier. Definitely some problems, I think, affecting all of the world that uses the internet, it sounds like. Microsoft and CrowdStrike, flights being grounded and, all that type of stuff would imply that there's definitely issues. Bookmap looked really, really odd. And TopStep had said, multiple different platforms having issues. So trade at your own risk. So that's what I've heard about that. So there's the level, right? Nothing magical about this. This is 15-minute opening range low coming right off of this level here. Happened to work out very nicely today. Could have taken a sell. Again, not my setup. Not quite my setup with this structure. On another day, I'm taking this. I don't like to run a stop loss. It's right here and take a ton of stop outs for small wins. I think a pullback up much deeper to this area of volume, around VWAP, could have been in store. So that's what we're looking at so far, guys. Nothing really on Bookmap. This is what I mean. Show you guys Bookmap again. Everybody's favorite crazy color tool. No orders that are sticking out to me. Really prominently on the heat map or even on the order book that I would be paying really close attention to. There's definitely some sitting down here at 570. That's pretty close to price, but I don't have a level, below or above like I said before, up until we get up here, which looks like it lightened up from earlier. It was a lot heavier back over here. So not a whole lot on the book that's helping me out. But we'll give it a few more minutes. We'll wait and see. Like I said, this one's short and sweet today, guys. We're going to get in, get out. Trade or no trade. We don't need to get caught in the chop. I want to watch Bookmap as we come down to test prior day low and pre-market low. Sellers stepping in, quite a bit of volume picking up there. This is not a bad spot to try a buy, but you totally risk the immediate stop out. I'm not going to take it. But here's the, oh, not that. Here's what you'd be looking at. Or here's what I would be looking at, rather. You know, something along those lines. Probably look to take one off right here. Probably right, like somewhere right up there. And then right here, if nothing else shows up on Bookmap, that's kind of what I would be looking at. Again, reason for not taking that one, there was a lot of volume behind that on Bookmap. A lot of orders getting filled at that level, and a nice uptick in volume coming down into that. That looked like it could have broken pretty quickly. I don't like to take these super aggressive trades, like jumping in front of the moving train. I like some momentum coming up to it, and you know, I did take it here earlier in the day. I find you get really big reactions. Later, you don't get such nice reactions. But I'm going to map out stuff that I look at, different plays. If I don't have the conviction to take them, I'm not going to take them. I don't put risk on. But I'll show you what I could be looking at for trades, or what you could be looking at for trades, using these levels that I show you every day. Simple stuff. Yeah, maybe you got in here and you say, you know what, or maybe you got a worse fill. Maybe you were up here. Let's be more realistic with it. You know, you got in as the cut was coming down. You got filled there. Maybe you go stop loss to break even here. You know, you're a couple points in profit. You know, 2-3 points in profit. You made it up to 5 points in profit. Maybe you protected some capital. Maybe you took some off. I probably would say, for me managing it, it's going to be based on the market structure. But if this turns right from here, stop loss right below these lows is probably a good idea. You could tighten it up. Yeah, I would go with something like this if we were moving up. This is just a quick bounce play. So we would have started, I probably would have started with 5-6 points. And I'm just being realistic with trade management. Let's say we did that and see how it plays out. And would be targeting for the first, here's realistically the trade. That's probably what this would look like, and I probably wouldn't hold till all the way up there. I'd go somewhere safer, somewhere over here. Oh. Appreciate you guys being on here, man, on a Friday. Watching the charts, watching ES. If you're not in Discord, hop in Discord. Free Discord. No VIP paywall to be here live with me. You get updates on this. You get to ask me questions. Analysis every day. My charts marked up. Usually a couple minutes in a voice message explaining what I'm looking at, what's on my charts. News alerts. Tell you when we got high impact news. All that fun stuff. Hey, Mr. Met, what's up, man? How do you determine the volume point of control? Is this only possible with Bookmap? Sorry, I'm new to trading. No, Volume point of control, VPOC, is yesterday's volume point of control. So I'm not in a trade. Again, if you guys just jumped on, here's something we mapped out. Probably would have started with like 6 points, and at this point, I'd say we go stop loss to break even. Let's see how that plays out, whether or not that would be a winner. Be looking at taking a half off here, and then maybe the following half off near VWAP, something like that. So volume point of control, brother. I find it on the 5-minute chart. I take the fixed range volume profile tool. I don't know if you guys can see this because of my face in the way. I don't think you can. But if you go on the projection tab on TradingView or TopstepX, if you use TopstepX or whatever your platform is, you should be able to have a fixed range volume profile tool. This is what it looks like. It displays volume for the fixed range that you designate in a horizontal pattern. It shows you can see here where price is traded the most, and it gives you a point of control, the highest area of volume. Like just on this amount that I drug out here. You could see obviously based on price here where the most volume was traded, and you could see down here it's showing you, encapsulating all of this, where a lot of volume was traded. I find it by the session, so I drag it from. It'll probably be a little bit different on micro. I did this on ES. I do it from ES. I've been doing it from ES every morning. But you go from the start of the session. Today's the 19th. I go to boom. See how that bad boy popped up right there? This is so this is the start of the session, right? 6 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday the 17th. So you get the overnight all the way into here's the morning, right? Here's 12 a.m. on yesterday, all the way through the session, all the way to session close. So I get the whole trading session, not New York session, not day to day. I believe this is how most guys are identifying volume point of control. Let's check top step levels because they post it every day. You might find it's off by like, a couple points, again, based on the exact chart you're using, the time frame that you're on. Let's see top steps levels. I can't even find it. They've got like a whole different setup here. But anyway, that's how I use volume point of control. Again, just another level. You can you can drag it out for the session as it's trading. You could put on session profile. This is today's volume. If you continue to drag it out, you'll continue to see it move. You could utilize any different level that you like. There's value area, highs and lows. There's a million different, different things that you could utilize. This is the stuff that I find works really well. Honestly, that volume point of control, I'm going to say I place the least amount of weight out of all of the levels on my chart. The stuff that I really like to utilize is pre-market high and low, opening range, 15-minute opening range, and prior day high and low. Really like to utilize those levels, along with VWAP, and then discretionary levels, which are typically above and below. We got a lot of room in between where we're at down here for pre-market and prior day high. So I did throw a discretionary level, areas of interest, support and resistance based on highs and lows and price action. That's how I'll describe that. Yeah, no pressure, man. Again, you might find a different volume point of control that you like. You might find the current trading session's volume point of control is important. You might find day to day or the week, weekly, and continue to drag it out. You might find, a million different levels. It's all about finding what you like. Whatever you do, you should do with some consistency. You should apply some consistency to it. You don't want to have different levels on your charts every day. That's probably not super helpful. But back test, forward test, find some stuff that you like. For me, I've back tested and forward tested with these levels, and this is what I like. Again, volume this honestly, volume point of control I could probably do without, if I'm being completely honest. I just like to see where it is. It depends on the trading session also. Sometimes it's kind of way out of whack. It doesn't really help so much. But pre-market high and low is the area that price has traded in pre-market for that day. And then you've got, and you could, I'm watching price here. You could, you could designate a different time if you want. You could go, hey, the area that price is traded within the first 4 hours before, market open. My prior day high and low comes off the high wick of the candle and the low wick of the daily candle. So you find your levels and test with them and decide how you want to utilize them. So we definitely reacted right off of prior day low, just kind of cracked below it. Again, this is coming off of yesterday's low right here. This is coming off of pre-market low, traded at 3:45 a.m. today. So, even more important when they line up, when there's two things when it's been respected before, one of them's been respected. So we're kind of failing to take this thing higher. Yeah, no pressure, man. Kind of failing to take this thing higher. Potentials for the day that I see, guys. Trend lower, breakout and trend lower. Or, guess what? It's going to go up or down. Or back into the range with a whole bunch of BS, choppiness. With this type of price action all the way down into the morning, I don't think a huge reversal trend day is in store unless we get, you never know. Market's unpredictable unless we get some news or something really that changes. This is potential here, but honestly, with this type of price action, like I would have liked to see it come down and break, right? If we were going to come below a prior day low, here was its opportunity to continue right through that liquidity that was here and start breaking through. We reacted off a pre-market low. We're still looking bearish overall, but here was its potential again. And even if it was going to react, take it higher, pick up liquidity, whatever you want to do, stop out everybody that's up here, go and hit another level and then continue down. The longer that we go with this, the more indecisive price action and market structure is showing us that, buyers and sellers are. So I got nothing on this for now. I'm not convicted to take a long or a short. Based on how much this is struggling to come lower, I do think it's likely to come back up, maybe retest VWAP, maybe just come back into the range and have it be a crappy consolidating rangy Friday. We turn through these levels, I'd be looking lower somewhere down here next. We come down through this with some force. I think lower prices are in store. You could always get the fake out move, the quick wick down, trap everybody, and then continue up. But if we come down and show some follow through, just a little bit, I think lower prices are in store. But right now, this looks just choppy back up into the range. Maybe mess around here a little bit, kind of just chew everybody up. So buy would have worked out okay though. Wouldn't have taken any heat. If you got in on this one, maybe a couple ticks, and I don't know if it would have played out all the way to where I'd be looking at for a target just below this high, just below 15-minute opening range low, or if we're going to come back down, I'll get rid of it now, and get stopped out near break even. But you guys can watch that for yourself. Go back, test these levels if you like, try them on your charts. Decide what you like for yourself. No. What's up, brother? Thanks for hopping on. No, I didn't buy. I'm trading straight from a terminal here, so you'd see everything live. You'd see, you'd see prices moving. You see the P&L. I was mapping out something that I didn't have the conviction to trade, but what I do look at every day, very similar to myself from this morning off of pre-market high. Quick buy, looking for a bounce up to the, closest level, somewhat of a reaction. We were coming down here with some force for sure. Like that was pretty aggressive. And then that move was pretty aggressive. Following this move, which was pretty aggressive, that looked like we could break right out of it. I don't love to take the super aggressive buy trade if I'm maybe looking short once we get right below it, which in that instance I was. It's cheap trades. You know, you could run a pretty tight stop. I like to give it a little bit of room just in case it kind of comes down and fakes everybody out by 2 points or something. They're dangerous enough to work, in my opinion, you know, especially if you manage them pretty aggressively. You get stop loss to break even if you do get a reaction pretty quick. But I try not to step right in front of a moving train. I like to trade with the momentum. I find when I look back at my trades, most of the trades that I'm trading, that I've entered counter to what price is doing right then and there, don't work out too well. The ones that I'm entering with price, moving in that direction, sometimes it's a little bit harder to trade that way. You're taking a less entry. You got to structure risk a little bit wider. Those tend to play out, just in my humble opinion, a little bit nicer. Again, I like the aggressive trades right off of levels, you know, even if it's counter trend, but I apply my discretion and say, hey, I don't like this one specifically today. So that's that. But yeah, it looks like so far be working out. If we got below here again, I'd probably be closing out right below this level for partial. Maybe for the whole thing with this much consolidation. Again, I manage my trades based on price action, market structure, order flow now, you know, a whole bunch of different things with discretion. So that buy would have worked out. You know, there you go. So, oh, what's up, brother? My man that had booked a call. What's happening? Yeah, man, I'm getting ready to hop off, but I shot you a message on Discord. I shot you a DM. You're one of the only persons I shot a DM, but I did it with a voice message. There's scammers on Discord. If you hop in the Discord, beware. They use my profile picture and my name. I'm not DMing anybody really on Discord except for this gentleman right here. But listen to that man and let me know if you want to book something, you know, next week or something like that. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'll finish with this. Hop in the free Discord if you're not there already. Thanks for joining for another live session. Wrapped up another week green. No trade today, but still green. I think across 7 or 8 of the last live sessions. If you guys want to trade live with me, hop in the free Discord, join the community. Link in description, link in bio, links everywhere. Mapped out a buy trade that would have been playing out pretty nicely right here. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. You're probably going to lose all or more of the money that you decide to trade with if you decide to trade. Entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a recommendation or suggestion to do anything. I'm just an idiot on YouTube trading and talking about candles. So do your own research, make your own decisions. Don't take any of this seriously. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome weekend. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your time away from the charts. Maybe you get some back testing, some trading, some back testing and some studying, some reading done. But I think it's healthy to find some time away from the charts so you can come back fresh and energized for Monday. I will see you guys Monday live here again on YouTube. Talk to you then.